I did Feeling the Beat in 30 minutes. Once you're able to understand all the nuances, then you take out the guessing out. So FL is dope for beat. Logic is amazing for mixing and mastering, right? So this is what I know. So I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities and make sure I'm able to build the kind of life that I want to build from all of this because I know it's possible.
Yes. What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be doing an interview with Benie Macaulay. If you don't know who Benie Macaulay is, he's a music producer, a DJ, a sound engineer, a mixing engineer, a Dolby Atmos mixing engineer, a whole lot. And the first time I came across his content was when I saw the video with Vesh Beats for Producers One Sample Challenge, and he killed it there. And crazily enough, he has been in my ears for a very long time, and I didn't even know who he was, personally. There are a lot of songs or records that you guys hear on the radio. They don't even take the time to look up who that person is. I did my research on him and I found out that he's worked with a lot of artists. Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, Ricardo Banks, Mr. Easy, like a whole lot of artists. DJ Spinall, a lot of artists he has worked with, and in the Nigerian music industry. And I feel like he's a very, very good person to learn from, or be a resource, or get inspired by and look up to. You can. I see now he's making videos on YouTube and making content all over his Instagram. So you guys do well to follow him if you're interested. Do well to follow him if you want mixing in Dolby Atmos. If you want the surround sound Dolby Atmos mixing, do well to hit him up. I'm very, very sure he can deliver on whatever project you're trying to work on. Yeah, so let's get into the interview. So basically, this interview is going to be like a series. I'm planning on doing the series with this interview. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to call this series. But I'm thinking of a name, maybe producer talk or music. I don't know. I don't want to have a corny name. You guys let me know in the comments what name you want me to use.
3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Atmosphere by Benie Macaulay. And I'm your motherfucking Martian.
What's good, bro? How you doing, man? How you doing?
I did, man. It's good.
Nice to meet you finally.
I guess the pleasure is all mine.
Thank you for joining my humble request. So,
pleasure, man.
That was
Dresh back then.
So, bro.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, man.
The one I'm putting out, the EP I'm putting out is with Dresh. All of the songs that you've been hearing that I've been sampling with the Atmos, all Dresh.
That's cool, man. I love the setup. Like, I've been seeing your Instagram posts. I always check your videos too on YouTube, and I see how you like setting everything up. So cool, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right, so my name is Benie Macaulay, in case you don't know, right? I'm a music producer, I'm a DJ, I'm a stereo and Dolby Atmos mixing and mastering engineer, and I've been doing this since 2012. I think I probably mixed and mastered over 1,000 records.
Oh, wow.
I've done all of I mixed and mastered all of Jimmy Jatt's records since Feeling the Beat, featuring Wizkid, to his most recent release back in the day. And then I did Spinall's second, third, half of his fourth album, and 11 tracks in his recent album. I mixed and mastered a lot of songs. I can't remember a lot of them, right, but I do have a link on my Instagram. So that I can remember.
Yeah, I was looking through your Instagram. I saw a lot of songs you put. Right. Like, I didn't even know you've been in our ears all this while.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't use links when I mix and master records, only when I produce. And I do more mixing and mastering than producing. But yeah, but in recent times, I have obviously, as you might have noticed, started, the whole YouTube thing, trying to share the knowledge and everything. Because I used to get a lot of questions about how do you do this, how do you do that? I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? Maybe I should just start a YouTube channel. Because that's basically how I got into everything I'm doing, right? I'm a product of going to YouTube, watch tutorials and just learn, practice. In fact, I still watch a video today. I'm still going to watch a video tomorrow, right? That's how I've built a career. That's how I'm doing everything I'm doing. That's how I'm getting better, So yeah, I'm like, you know what? Let me do my own thing, give back, for people that want to learn. And so far, so good. It's working well. I think as of today, I just hit 1K subs.
Oh wow! Congrats to you, man. Congrats to you, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, and this is like less than a year ago when I started this thing. It's not up to a year, right?
All right.
So it's actually quite exciting, and it's nice to know that I'm actually making an impact in people's lives, considering the fact that I'm a bad person. So at
You're a
least I'm
bad
doing
person.
something
Yeah,
very evil.
I don't.
So hey,
I don't
this
want to
is
say that you
good. It's
are,
like
but
I'm becoming, yeah, I'm transitioning from a villain to a hero slowly.
we love to say
So it's
that.
all good.
We love to say that.
It's all good.
So I just want to
Yeah,
ask,
man.
if someone else
Yeah.
reach out to you, like, do you have like a manager, or are your DMs open? Can somebody
Well,
just send you a DM, or
I do.
how do
Yeah,
people
I
get to
do
work with
have
you?
a. Yeah, I do have a manager, right? But I also my DMs are also open to serious people. Do you
Okay,
get?
right.
You know, not all those guys that will send you hi
How you
morning, but
doing?
like don't just I don't understand. I keep educating people from time to time. Like, how do you message somebody and be like hi or good morning?
I feel
You go
that.
straight to the point, right?
Right. Go straight
Because
to the
there's
point.
too many people trying to do that.
By the time you get to the DMs, before you even say hi back, you're like 2 more days before you reply again or get the whole message. I feel
No,
that.
I don't. I don't know because no. The thing is, yeah. If you don't go straight to the point, I don't know that you're not trying to waste my time,
Right, right.
which is the most annoying thing ever. You get so, but when you get a message and be like, bro, I'm this, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, and I'm like, cool, we can have a conversation now. No, hi, money, bro.
Right,
Oh,
I feel
chief.
that. I feel that. Like, it can be annoying too.
Yeah,
Me when I sent
it's
you a
annoying.
DM, I just went straight to the point because I didn't want to like just beat around the bush, and I didn't know. I didn't even know if you're gonna say DM or something. I just like came and just say the whole thing right there. So just
Well,
to
that's it. That's really it. Because in today's world, there's too many knuckleheads out there. It's a lot of bastards on the internet. A lot of no, seriously, a lot of people just trying to waste your fucking time and just trying to troll.
All right, I feel
Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we don't have time for that. So, but like I said, DMs are open. I do have a management. If it gets very serious and I don't want to handle that part of the business. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool, you know what?
I
I'll
feel
push it
that.
over. But I think I should even put the guy's number on my DMs on my Instagram.
Second,
But
bro.
yeah, but my DMs are, what, they're open. The DMs are open.
All right. So you said you started making music 2012. Was that when you like got serious with the mixing and stuff, or when exactly did you start?
All right, so prior to 2011, I was a rapper, right? I had actually even put out a record, and I shot my video in Club 10, in Kucha's Club 10 in VI,
Oh wow.
2011. The guys I was with, they did their best, but I think they did not have the necessary funding to actually push, as an artist. And then I figured, what's the next best thing? Okay, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to learn to make music. This was my thought. This is my genuine thought. I don't think I've said this anywhere before, but this is my genuine thought. I figured I was like, you know what, okay, there's no money to really push this music, right? So I'm going to learn to make music so that I can produce for artists and then get them to feature on my songs, right? And then use that as a way to kind of like push myself. That was the original plan. So the whole of 2011, I started learning to make beats with FL Studio, right? So I would make beats, one beat in the morning, one beat in the evening as a practice routine.
2 beats every day.
And I would make, same day, every day. I did it for a whole year. And I would do it to completion because I also wanted to learn to finish music. I didn't want to just start, make, and then like, So then, I would start. I'll do a beat in the morning to completion. I'll do that in the evening. It doesn't matter if it was dope or not.
Just make sure
the goal was
done.
Start and finish, right? So basically, obviously, I would try to remake songs that are out there, and that's how I was learning. I remember there's this South African song then, Serious. I remember that song once. I think it was a big nose, Serious. I used that beat to try to like learn. I was literally trying to remake that song, right? So I did that for the whole of 2011. And in 2012, I came to Lagos.
Where were you at before?
Fully. I was in Benin before.
You're in Benin?
Then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in Benin. Yeah.
You're not from Lagos?
No, I'm not from Lagos. I'm actually.
I know that your last name, McAuley, is a Lagos name. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing.
Not necessarily a Lagos name. I think it's an English name, right?
Yes, but that last name.
An English name.
People that have that last name, like Coca's last name, like Lagos guys. No, I'm just saying, it's just like that Lagos name. That's what I'm asking.
Right. But I'm from Delta State, but I was born and I grew up in Benin and I went to uni then, whatever. Right. So yeah, I was in Benin prior to that. 2012, I came to Lagos. I was staying at one studio back then. Yeah, right. So that was where I was, right, for 2012. And then I was just kept growing in Sha basically. And then I think 2013, I did the first song I did that went on the radio was in 2012. I did a song for a guy named Dollar Bills. He's a London artist back then. He's still in London, right? I guess I'm just trying to remember all of these things.
It's been a while.
And in 2013, I was in the studio then. I was using FL. I had this very chunky Dell laptop, my headphones, a Behringer headphones. I still remember all of these things. And I was making beats, and Rugged Man came in and he sat there beside me, right, on this like waiting chair. I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm making beats. Like, can I listen?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I gave him the headphone. Like, "Oh, this is mad. Can I use it?" I'm like, "Sure." Right, because it was trapped. Then I was very, very micro with my sound. Very micro with my sound, right? And then so he used the song and he made 8 Figures featuring Reminisce in 2013.
Oh, wow.
2013, the year I started learning to mix and master, and that song was one of the first songs that actually mixed and mastered, I think, or maybe the second or third, or thereabouts. Yeah, but I produced that record, I mixed and mastered it, and that went on the radio. They shot a video. The video is somewhere on the internet, and I look scruffy as fuck. My arm is like it's not even as big. It's like divided to 4. That's how I look. I look like this way.
That year, but yeah, man. So what version of FL were you using? Because
what version it was back then,
FL9.
I can't remember. I don't even know, but I was in FL. And then, although when I got to the studio when I got to the studio in 2012, they had Logic, so that's how I got introduced to Logic. And then the owner of the studio, his younger brother, what's his name? Was it Michael? Showed me a few things about how to mix, vocals in Logic, and that was it. I was just hooked to Logic. As far as mixing is concerned, right? So yeah, man, that's where it all began. And then 8 Figures, 2013, I was doing stuff with Ill Rhymes in 2013/2014. I was doing radio, like post-production edits and stuff for vocals and
right.
And then 2014, I started working with, I moved to Lucky Phase 1. I was working out of Jimmy Jatt's studio to, I think 2017 when I moved out to my own spot. But listen, man, it's been
a while. It's been a
wild journey. It's been actually a very fun journey that I'm actually thankful for, right? So yeah.
I would love to hear that. I'm not even gonna lie. At this point, you're a legend. Like, I don't care what anybody says. You're a legend.
I try my best.
You're a legend, man. You are. You are. So
I hope. Yeah.
You hope.
I hope I can become one. No, that's where I'm heading to with all of this.
Even if, like, with everything you've done so far, like you've actually done a lot for Nigerian music industry, no matter how you want to say it. And I love the fact that you're still going strong. I know a lot of people have started making music and 5-10 years they just stop. I'm sure you know people that stopped making music too when you started. I'm very sure.
Yeah, but my thing is I think the beautiful thing about making music is the fact that you can literally do this till you croak, right? You can be a producer till you can no longer see. You can be an audio engineer till you can no longer listen. Do you understand? Until you like old. So it's one of the best things you can actually be in life. I'm telling you, it's music, because you can literally just do this forever. The most important thing is, just like anything else, you have to constantly reinvent yourself and you have to constantly learn, right? Because except you are constantly working on your craft, you're going to keep doing the same thing, and that will put you in a loop and lock you in time. And I feel like that's the major reason why a lot of people are not able to continue doing what they're doing for a long time. The reason Wizkid is still making music till today is because he's constantly evolving in his sound and the way he makes music, and that's just the way it works. There's no other way to do it.
That's true.
You get it.
That's the word. That's really deep, man.
Yeah, let's do it that way. If you want, and as far as you're ready to do that, as far as you're open to new things, bro, like I said, man, there's a DSTV in this house. I don't watch it, right? I'm watching YouTube 90% of the time. Okay, now 90% of the time, 80% of that is just tutorials. Because there's like new things, there's new techniques, and there's just the world is changing faster than it has ever changed in the history of the world. Right? So you have to keep up, basically. And if you do that, you can do, and as far as you're doing that, you can do this thing forever.
I love that.
That's
man.
it, man.
I love that. I love that. So, you've been making beats for a while. What would you say is your biggest misconception about making beats? What do you think people overestimate or underestimate when it comes to making beats?
I'm not sure I have any. Let me think. Okay. I think when you're making beats, I think something that's very important is simplicity. And then the biggest misconception will be that people think that simplicity is easy. Because it's actually more difficult to achieve that simple but dope sound, right? Also, it's not difficult, but it is difficult. I don't know how to put it.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's like I think once you can learn sound choices, once you can learn how to layer sound to complement each other, then you'll be able to make beats. Because I remember back in the day, I think it was like around 2019 or thereabout, I was with Mastercraft then, and he was like, yo, your beats are very dope, but I think your beat might be a little bit too complicated for artists. I thought about it like, okay, let me look at this in a bit differently. Because one thing about music and creating any kind of art is once you're able to understand all the nuances, then you take out the guessing out of your part of the equation. Do you understand? Once I'm able to understand that, okay, you know what, I don't need to make my beat too complicated so that artists can flow on it. Now every time I make a beat, I'm going to make a beat that somebody can always flow on it. Do you understand? Not today's okay, maybe somebody can like this one, tomorrow I'm not sure if this person will like. You get what I'm saying? Because it's very important. So yeah, so that simplicity is overlooked, and I think it's very, very important to just try. That's the reason why, okay, there's a lot of dope producers everywhere. Plenty. Everybody has their source, but listen to all the hit records. They are the simplest beats.
That's some gems right there. True.
Yeah, that's the simplest beat. They are the no record label is not going to think about. Let me listen to your trap beat that has both trap and drill and Afrobeat mix, and everything is switching, and there's slow down effects here, this, that, there, right. Here. You know what I'm saying? That's for you. Do you understand? People just want to know who do the bad man don't know. Who do the simple, right? There's groove,
right?
Do you understand? And that's why someone like Mastercraft, for example, that guy is one of the best at that. His beats from the get, every beat he makes is like you just hear the groove, right? Simplicity, but it's dope as fuck. You get what I'm saying? Everything is precise, everything is the way it should be. So that's simplicity, man. That's the key. It's definitely the key.
What about mixing? Do you think mixing is as complicated as people make it seem, or do you think mixing is easier than it is? Because I know you do more of mixing too. So, what's your one take about mixing?
Mixing, unfortunately, with mixing, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing, right? You would just guess. But once you know what you're doing, you would be able to achieve the sound quality you're trying to achieve using less plugins, using less processing and everything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel
so. It's like, for example, now, recently I put out the tutorial about reverb time. That video on my Instagram has almost like 1,000 people liked it, which means at least 1,000 people benefited from that video. But then there's one or two persons that come and say, bro, for common reverb, all this thing is too much calculations for reverb. Oh, you didn't use calculus, you didn't use that, why don't you just go straight to the point? Now, those kind of people, unfortunately, will continue to struggle. They probably get to like become 50 years old and realize they don't achieve anything in their life because of their attitude. But this is my point. This is what I'm getting at. Because I know how to get the correct and perfect reverb time, anytime I set my reverb, it's going to be correct. It will not be a thing of, okay, how much reverb do I now want for this record? Do you understand? Do we need more reverb or do we mean less reverb? Because with mixing, there's not like a set way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand how everything works and then use it to create what you're trying to create. For example, if I'm set my reverb change like this. So I have a reverb, I have a what's it called? An EQ to control the frequencies around the reverb, right? So that the reverb is smooth, right? Some records that would not need that much control because that's what I'm trying. I need a reverb that's just going everywhere. Do you understand? There's some records where you really need to put the reverb underneath. Yeah, control it very properly in the frequency stage of things. Do you get what I'm saying?
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, once you understand, you just need to understand everything, and there's really no like I said, if you understand how everything works, if you understand how compressor works, EQ works, everything works, then no guessing. Every time you try to do something, you do it, and you do it very quickly. I can mix a song in shortest amount of time. Right. For example, I did Feeling the Beat in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, because Uncle Jimmy came down to the studio, he brought the flash drive. Oh yes, I have the data for Feeling Beat. See what you can do, but I'm like, sure, right now. He gave it to me. 30 minutes, I mixed and mastered it. And I took it back. Oh yeah, I'm done. I was like, what? And like, yeah, that's the song everybody's listening to today. No, but that song still, it's not close to how perfect my mixing skill is.
It's right now.
Like between then and now, I've gone like way ahead. I mean, way ahead. If I hear this song, like, I'll whack. Like, do you know what I'm saying? When I hear this song, like, oh, this. I hear all the. Do you know what I'm saying? I hear all the everything that is wrong. You know, the only good thing is with music, with mixing especially, there's a standard, right? That once you meet that standard, you can kind of get away with your mistakes, right? Everything else becomes how people feel about the record. You know, do they like it? Do they like the artist? As far as you meet that standard, they're not going to be worried about anything else. They just enjoy the music. But if the standard is just bad, they will complain about definitely there's nothing that will happen. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel that.
If you can meet the standard, fine. But then again, there's standard and then there's the standard. There's like you can, you know, because right, boy, like how do I explain now? You cannot compare the kind of sound you get from an audio interface that has like elite ADDA converter to a normal Focusrite sound card. There's a reason why, you know, one is like almost more expensive than the other one. Right. So combine that with amazing skill sets. Do you get what I'm saying?
I feel that 100%.
Combine that with a very dope recording chain. Do you understand? So that's the reason. That's why there's a serious difference in quality when it's into like something that is just done roughly and something that is like, you know, there's a lot of money behind it, there's a lot of time, bro. So yeah, man. I think I've diverged from our original.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good that you hit a lot of points, and that's perfect. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, man, that's it.
And you've been making music for a while. I know you already touched this a bit, but what do you think is one thing that keeps you going with the music? Because I'm very, very sure. I'm very sure some days you don't feel the best when you're making your beats, or you don't feel like, you know, life happens. It might not be as happy as you want to be. I don't know, but some days you just keep going and you keep making beats. Like, how do you handle all that stuff? Like, how do you keep going with your music?
Well, personally, I feel like I don't have a choice. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You just have to do it.
There's as far look, this is how I see it. When you realize, or once you realize that you are alive, a breathing human being, there are two things you can do. Pursue a goal, succeed, make build the kind of life that you want, right? Or die. So if you decide you don't want to kill yourself, then you have to figure out the other parts. You allow yourself to feel down when you feel down, but understand that you cannot stay down. Do you understand? Personally, I like to, have like a $10 million apartment somewhere in Ikoyi. So that's not going to happen if I stop making beats.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And unfortunately for me, I don't know any other way to make that happen. Right. So this is what I know. So I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities and make sure I'm able to build the kind of life that I want to build from all of this, because I know it's possible. Do you understand? It's very possible. I've seen people do it. People are doing it today. People will do it tomorrow. People did it yesterday. So I have to keep doing it till it's my turn. And I'm like, oh yeah, I finally did it. There's a lot of things. Everything that I like is too expensive in this life. I love yachts. I love boats. Do you know something? And yeah, so when I think about all of those things, okay, cool. So let's go back to this shit. Let's go back to you guys out there. So that's it. That's literally. That's how I do it.
What about when you have like beat blocks? Do you believe in beat blocks? You think it's a thing, or do you ever experience?
Yeah, beat blocks is a thing.
So how do you deal with beat blocks?
What I do is I just listen to a lot of music, right? There are two ways though. Sometimes I don't listen to music, but the truth is you cannot escape music in this life. Because you go and say, let me go and watch movie. There's some music gonna play now.
Right.
Let me go and play games. Music will still play, right?
Right.
So what I do usually is just listen to music, watch a lot of tutorials. I am kind of blessed with being able to absorb things subconsciously, even when I'm not paying attention. You know that, like even if I'm not trying to learn, I'm learning. My brain is not wired that way. Right, my brain is not like wired that way because I'm kind of used to just the process of trying to constantly learn. So even if I'm not paying attention, I'll just watch. I can just let the tutorial be playing in the background. My head is picking what's happening. I just listen to music and something will just strike a chord that will store in my subconscious. And eventually I would make a beat. That's literally how I did it. Because I don't know. It's not that way. I mean, for me, anyways.
That's dope. So let me just ask like regular questions. Everybody is probably going to fight in the comment section. What door is the best door to you? To you, not yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is what I think. For me, FL is very amazing for making beats, because I still make beats on FL till today, right? I stopped for a while, but I went back to FL again, thanks to Mastercraft.
Mastercraft, does he use FL or does he use Logic or
use FL? Use FL. There was one time I was showing him how to use Logic, and then he was like, I was like, I feel like I'm not making very catchy enough beats. Well, like, you know what? Try using FL for a while and see. Just try using FL for a while and see. Okay, cool. So I went back to FL and I'm like, you know what? FL is actually, because FL forces me to approach music creation a bit different.
I feel
now with Logic, right? With Logic, you can only you can create what you can think about. That's Logic, right? Logic is not designed for experimenting, right? So first of all, you have to think about it. And if you can play the instrument, if you can play the keyboard, good. Me personally, I'm not like what do you call it? I'm not very good with playing the keyboard. I know enough to make music. So in that instance, you can only create as much as your skill permits. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Except you get it right. But with FL just throws into a space of experiment.
I feel that.
Right. And then you just have happy mistakes here and there, and things are just like, yo, do you get what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, so I had to learn to use FL again, and then okay, cool. I had to learn how to, even the FL actually forced me to kind of learn some more music theory things that technically would be difficult to play because I'm trying to play them. Because I'm drawing them, it became easier.
Right. I feel that the piano roll on FL is still good.
Yeah. Right, so because you don't have to like struggle to play it first to understand it. Now you just draw it. Well, cool. This is how it works. I can do sevenths. Like I can do this. I can do that. I can make melodies if I do this, do that. Do you get what I'm saying? So FL is very dope for making beats. And then I still make beats on Logic. So for me at this point, it's just based on what what I'm feeling like. What should I create on Logic today? Should I create an FL today? So you get. So FL is dope for beats. Logic is amazing for mixing and mastering. I could never mix in FL studio. I have created. I have dope recording. I have dope mixing presets in terms of vocals for FL, because at the end of the day, it's still the same wave or UAD plugins or file filter plugins I'm using in Logic that I was using in FL, right?
Right.
But generally, I don't like mixing in FL. I can. Do you understand? But Logic is like more my speed, and I mix with Pro Tools as well. Pro Tools, in my opinion, is just one step above Logic when it comes to mixing and mastering. Just one step. You get just one step. Especially with mixing in Atmos. Logic, you can only monitor up to 7.1.4, and mixing in Atmos, you can only monitor 7.1.4 with Logic. Pro Tools pushes that to 9.1.6. So if I decide to expand the Atmos room, I'm going to have to switch to Pro Tools fully. Pro Tools for that, because I would want to do a 9.1.6. My audio interface currently allows up to 9.1.6. But technically you can do everything to do with 7.1.4. It's like standard. Do you get what I'm saying? But
probably have to do like another video where you go in depth to this Dolby Atmos, because I've been looking at Dolby Atmos.
I'm starting the Dolby Atmos tutorial series this week.
Yeah, I would love to learn a lot from that.
Yeah, I've uploaded the first video to YouTube. It's scheduled to go up tomorrow.
Oh wow, cool.
That's why I even had posted the video about showing that my guys
case beats. I saw a video.
Case beats up, right? And I have a lot of people. I'm doing curating experiences for people in the industry, and a lot of like industry professionals and stuff. This from this week, and I'm going to put now those videos because a lot of people have not really like experienced Atmos in real life. So it's fun to be able to do that and share it with people and stuff like that. So man.
The only thing I've experienced with Dolby is like if you go to the cinemas, that's the only time I know I've experienced that Dolby Atmos sound.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been in the studio where else.
Yeah, that's where it started from. The whole music thing is like a new version of that, which is actually very, very nice. If I'm being honest, once you listen to a song in Dolby Atmos, you're like, wow, okay. When you listen to a song in stereo, you're like, okay, something is missing. Right, a lot of things are missing. Why is he in front? Why is he not here? It's crazy. So yeah, that's it for Beats, FL Studio, mixing and mastering, Logic, and Pro Tools. I recently started to like try to get into Ableton. Just because I like to just learn shit. So let me see what's happening. Let me see what's happening with Ableton, but I've not been able to make out time for that yet. But if you ask me, my favorite to just be Logic, Pro Tools, and FL. I think they all have for my applications, they all have their niche and their uses.
Right. Me personally, I like to just delve into everything so that you can. Some days you might not have that inspiration. When you switch to another door, your brain just opens to like a new experience for you. What you were saying before, I totally relate to it.
Yeah, you get, and that's why FL is actually very nice. Because if you're trying to make a beat in Logic, and then maybe you're like, if you're struggling, if you go to FL, one time you just put 1, 2, 3, arrange, put here, put there, you're already getting the groove. Turn your up to like 20, you're already getting bounce. Do you understand? Throwing some delay into one of your percussions, you're already getting some movement. You're already getting the groove. You're like, okay. So yeah, FL beats, Logic, Pro Tools, mixing and mastering. So that's it. I don't fuck with any other one.
Have you used Studio One before?
I don't like it. I've not used Studio One, but if I'm being honest, I've been looking at Studio One like I think it's something I can actually get into, because Studio One has a bit of Pro Tools
and FL vibes. There's
Pro Tools and FL vibe, and it's a bit of Ableton vibe as well. You get, and I feel there's just one thing. There's literally one feature, and it's Studio One that I really like, that I'm actually wishing it was in Logic or Pro Tools. Is for if you're mixing and mastering, right? You can put a gain plugin, obviously, at the top of your chain for all your tracks, right? and then with one movement, adjust the gain of all the tracks.
Wow, that's
So if you're doing gain, so when you're doing gain staging, that's fast. You don't have to be doing one track one by one, or like the way I do in Logic, I'll do on this track and I'll not copy that gain plugin into other tracks. Do you get what I'm saying? Anything to just make my work faster is.
You love it.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I have two more questions I want to ask you before I let you go.
Okay.
The first one is what's your biggest advice to up and coming producers or mixing engineers? What would you advise them? What would you say is like, take this as a gift from me?
Okay, my biggest advice would be just keep learning, just continue to constantly learn new shit. That's just in fact, that's like the only thing that you exist for. Once you choose that this is what you want to do, then you must constantly continue to learn. Did you get? That's it. There's no other way. There's no other way around it. You get? Because, like I said, if you're not actively trying to improve, you're going to be doing the same thing and then you're stuck in a loop. And that's where big block even comes from, to be honest. Do you get? That's where big block comes from. That's why I say producer, if you get a new plugin, you're a ginger. You want to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, true.
So combine new plugins with new ideas, with tutorials, and you will hardly get big block.
Do you have like 1,000 plugins on your computer, or do you think?
No, I don't. I actually used to have a lot of plugins, but now I've cut down to just the few ones that I know that I use regularly. For example, now, with mixing and mastering, I'm using mostly like Waves plugins, Fab Filter, Universal Audio, and I think that's it. Okay, Ozone, just some parts of Ozone, right? And then with making beats. Actually, for this period, I use mostly just Analog Lab for all the sounds. You know, because there's so much sounds there, like you almost don't need anything else, right? And then all of the stock plugins that come with FL and Logic, and then because I know how to, again, back to learning your shit. Once you understand how to fuck with your envelopes, you'll be able to create any sound you want from anything. So sound design, anything I want, I create. I can turn anything to pad to whatever it is. So I don't go around trying to look for new plugins, right? I just create what I need to create if I can't find it. And then Arcade is good as well for samples, but
yeah, I love Arcade.
I've not used Arcade for a while.
I love Arcade. I paid for like 1 year subscription on Arcade so that I don't have to keep paying everyone. That's like my favorite plugin.
It's mad though. It's mad. I've not used Arcade in a while. I've actually, since I got the Analog Lab, because almost everything I need is just I can get from Analog Lab. You know, in fact, I bought some new banks recently, 3 banks, and they are dope. They're fire. They sound so much sound. I've never used all of that. Do you get this? Bro. Yeah, I don't believe you should have too many plugins. In fact, I think once you identify the ones you use regularly.
I feel that. Thank you so much, bro. I think my Zoom meeting is about to end in 1 minute. I really appreciate like you coming out and answering all these questions. I'm planning to do like a series where I'm going to hit up a lot of people and just ask them random questions and stuff like this.
We'd
love to thank you again. If I'm going to post the video on my YouTube maybe when I finish editing it and all that stuff. I'll send it to you so you can watch it before. If you don't want to take anything out or you want to add anything, I will. But thank you again. I'll hit you up on Instagram.
My pleasure.
After this call ends. Thank you again.